Welcome to another episode of Chats with Yvonne. And before we get started, I want to give you a heads up about the audio. I'm not in my normal setup and you may hear some unwanted background noise, but I'll try my best to minimize that. So let's go ahead and get into it. As always, we talk to people who are in their very own way, creating spaces for themselves and others to thrive. This episode will be centered around motherhood and, of course, my favorite topic, public speaking. Now, what do these even have in common? Our guest today will bring those worlds together for us. And with that, I want to welcome our guest to Chats with Yvonne. ¿Cómo estás?
Hola, Yvonne. Thank you for inviting me. I'm super happy to be here with you today, having this chat. I am Marialva Ventura. I am a Dominican, an expat in Costa Rica. Been living here for the last 2 years. And my profession is the shipping business. I do finance in the shipping industry. And I'm also a career mentor for moms. I am a mom myself, and having navigated through the challenges of being a working mom, a single mom initially with a baby, and also wanting to advance in my career, I encountered challenges and have been able to overcome them and understand that I can be a good mom and I can also be a thriving professional. So that's basically what I try to inspire other women to do throughout my project, my personal project, which is the Thriving Mommy, and just basically talk about my experience, share my journey, and help other moms find their own way to have a thriving career and enjoy motherhood at the same time.
Thank you. It's super important to have that kind of space. And you sort of introduced us to this, but can you tell us a little bit more about your journey in creating the Thriving Mommy? What's your why? When did you start? Did you start it shortly after becoming a mother? What was that journey like for you?
Well, when I became a mom, my first thought was that my career dreams were done. I felt like I was no longer the person or the professional that I once was, but the mother to my child. And I love being a mother, but I wanted to be something else too. I had other dreams outside of motherhood. So as part of that frustration, I would say, that I felt about not being able to fulfill my dreams, or so I thought, I started this own personal journey of growth, of looking for other opportunities. One of those opportunities was moving abroad when my son was 8 months old. So living alone in a foreign country, working and also taking care of my son made me, as I said, realize that it's possible. So my why is showing other women that it can be possible, that you can actually do it. If you really want to, you can make it happen. I started the project when my son was a year and a half, around a year and a half. So I've been on it for a year and a half now.
That's incredible. And I mean, first of all, thank you for holding that space, because I'm not a mother myself, but, I think about the ways that kind of thinking and mentality that is around motherhood, and that, you have to live your life and you have to go out and do everything before you have kids, because once you have kids, it's over, right? So I think that it's super important that you hold this space and recognize and acknowledge that no, it doesn't. Like, just a different phase of your life comes to being, and a different version of you, and maybe even a better version of you, right? And so prior to this, we briefly talked before, and you mentioned that motherhood changed your perspective on a lot of things, as I'm sure it does for everybody. But in particular, you said that it made you a better public speaker. So I'd love to dive into that a little bit more. Could you tell us about what that process looked like for you? What was it like before? How did you develop these skills? And again, what was the why there?
Yeah, definitely. As I told you before, I feel like motherhood made me a better public speaker. And if I look at myself before motherhood, I was super shy. I was a little scared to speak up for myself. Sometimes I will be in meetings and I will keep my words to myself because I was afraid they weren't going to be welcomed. And after becoming a mom, I had to advocate not only for myself, but also for my son. So I started speaking up more. And as throughout this journey of doing the things that I never thought I was going to be capable of, like taking care of a child, moving abroad, starting a new life on my own, that made me more confident. And I think confidence is key. And you can definitely talk a little bit more about that. But I think confidence is key when you are speaking in public and you're sharing your ideas. So I think becoming more confident about what I can do and what I'm capable of was essential.
Yeah, and I appreciate that you bring that up because while confidence is key, it's also the practice of it, right? And you had almost this internal external force that drove you to becoming a little bit more confident, whether you wanted to do it or not. It's something that you just sort of had to do for the people that you love, right? And so maybe that's sometimes the journey in people's public speaking journey, where we get better, maybe not because we're initially wanting to get better because we're kind of comfortable in our shyness, but we get better because there are external folks and people around us that depend on our voices being heard for their well-being.
Exactly.
And so I think that's an incredible part of your motherhood journey and in this journey of public speaking as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, for sure.
And with that, I'd like to ask you, I'm sure you encountered a couple of barriers, moving abroad, even starting your Instagram a year and a half into your baby being born. What are some barriers that you've encountered where public speaking and communication have created a path towards what you were aiming for? So how has public speaking really opened those doors for you?
Well, I think, as you said, just doing the thing, because sometimes it's not easy. And sometimes the comfortable thing to do is stay quiet. But I think the fact that I wanted to put out that message and I wanted to inspire other people and maybe have the inspiration, give others the inspiration that I didn't have when I became a mother. So being able to put that message out there, seeing how some women would come to me and tell me, oh, your own experience has helped me identify where I have to grow, or has helped me understand that it is possible that I can do it as well. So I would say just overcoming the fear and doing it afraid. Even when you are afraid of, oh, how are people going to take this? Are they gonna think this is too much? Are they gonna welcome my story? Just do it, even if you're afraid. And that's the advice I would give anyone having to go out there and give a talk or do a presentation at work. Do it afraid.
I love that. That's going to be one of my personal mottos. Do it afraid, because I think that even when I put stuff out on Instagram or when I decided to start the, chats with Yvonne, that was something where I was like, are people even going to care? Every time I post something, every time I speak in public, this always happens. My heart kind of just skips a beat a little bit, but it's the practice of doing it and getting better at it and getting more confident. And then also, as you said, the feedback that you get from people, I think is awesome. You get to connect with people in these deeper ways than just surface level kind of interactions. You're able to connect with them through your story. And I think that's awesome.
It's great that you say that even yourself, as an experienced public speaker, your heart skip a beat whenever you're about to talk in public.
Oh,
It
yeah.
happens to all of us. It's natural.
1000%. And so my next question is sort of about how has becoming a confident public speaker changed your life? And this can apply to motherhood. It can apply to any aspect of your life where you think that becoming a better, confident communicator has positively impacted other aspects of your life.
The aspect I think it has impacted the most is my professional life. Before, as I said, I was super shy, and people I worked with didn't really know who I was as a person. So it was impossible for me to connect with anybody at any other level than professional. And even when we have a work relationship, we need to connect with other people, and they need to know who we are. We need to know who they are. So after becoming more confident and being able to communicate better my ideas and who I am, I started getting opportunities that I never thought I was going to get. I just changed jobs. I'm being transferred to another country after Costa Rica. And my current boss, the way she introduced me to her boss, like a week after I started the job, was that I was a perfect fit for the position, not only because of my skills, but also because my personality. That was shocking for me because I was like, oh my God, she was able to see my personality. And that's only because I became confident enough to show that.
Yeah, I love that, because one of the things that I always say is, when you Google public speaking, or when you Google how to get better at being a better communicator, you have all of these things that aren't necessarily specific to who you are as a person. And sometimes when you're public speaking, you may feel like you need to be a completely different person than who you actually are. And so I think what you just described there is a beautiful way of being able to merge the two, where you are and will always be professional, but there's also this other aspect of yourself, which is your personality, that makes everything that you say that much more impactful for people.
Of course.
So I love that you said that. And with that, I'd love to open the floor up to you to talk to us or tell us what we can expect from the Thriving Mommy. What do you want people to sort of go to your platform to and get from it?
Thank you. What I want people to get from the Thriving Mommy is this idea of it being possible, no matter what your situation is. If you become a mom and you still have some career goals that you want to achieve, it's possible. Maybe your priorities need to be rearranged a little bit, but you can still do it. And as you said in the beginning, motherhood can make you a better person and a better professional. So you might even discover some traits that you didn't even know of. So that's the message that I wanna bring, that it's possible. I have a hashtag that I always use, that is, I can have it all. Like, you don't need to choose between motherhood and your professional life. You can have both, or your life as a partner, or as a woman itself. You can have everything as long as you can rearrange your priorities. And what I'm doing right now with the Thriving Mommy is focusing on giving career advancement tips for moms, very, very focused to what a mom can actually do. And in the future, I'm planning on doing one-on-one coaching sessions, and also releasing some courses, because especially working moms, sometimes we don't have that much time to do live stuff. So I want to do recorded courses so a mom can actually access it whenever it's possible for her.
That's incredible. So everybody look out for those. Go follow the Thriving Mommy. And for all our mommies out there, our mommies to be, our mommies to want to be, whatever, wherever in that journey you are, remember what Marialva said is, do it afraid. You can have it all. And I will say, you can also become an incredible public speaker along the way. So with that, Marialva, thank you so much for joining us on Chats with Yvonne. This was such an awesome conversation, and I can't wait to connect.
Thank you. It was an honor.